Due to a historically bad start to the offense for the Oklahoma Sooners, the cries for new coaches, not only on offense, but in general, have gotten louder and louder. And every time I look up, I see something, everyone says, time to move on from Brent Venables, time to change this, time to change that. And I totally get it. I understand it. I can't even argue with you on it. But I will tell you this. There is a reason why in today's game, the way it's going, we actually need Brent Venables more than anything. On top of that, this next hire is going to be the most critical one that he's going to have going forward. Because when you see this data I'm about to show you, hopefully you'll understand the importance of a defensive-minded head coach in order to survive the game this year, especially in the SEC. So let's dive into that. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. So looking at some defensive adjusted numbers in the Power 4, I recognized that, we probably need Brent Venables a hell of a lot more now than we did before. And it's quite evident specifically because defenses are dominating in the SEC. 100%. They're dominating. And even some of the brightest minds in the SEC are struggling. And I'm talking about brightest minds. I'm talking about brightest minds on offense, not defense. Offense are struggling. So let me show you what I mean. We pull up this chart and let's talk through all the problems in Oklahoma with the Sooners right now. So I have this on the screen and I'm explaining to you what you're looking at. This season, the Sooners have lost 4 games. They lost all of them by double digits, and they've lost them all to, as you can see, top 15 defenses in Power 4 in the country. In Power 4. Top 15. All 4 of them. Ole Miss at 13. You have South Carolina at 6, Texas at 4, Tennessee at number 1. And in that, you understand that Tennessee, Texas, as well as Ole Miss, have some of the brightest offensive minds in college football. That's what they have. I'm talking like legitimately guys that we consider some of the best minds when it comes to creating offenses and running plays. But when you look at the way these teams have performed in SEC play, it don't feel like these minds are that offensively minded. Ole Miss has not scored 30 points in the SEC yet. Neither has Tennessee. Texas, against Mississippi State and Oklahoma, 2 offenses that struggle, but they couldn't even get 30 on Vanderbilt. Am I crazy here? Am I crazy? That's why I say that. What we came into the season thinking is that would Oklahoma have a competent offense, the defense would carry them. As of now, the defense is 15th in Power 4, opponent adjusted. And with the opponent adjusted, they adjusted per play based upon the competition that you're going against and how good they actually are. 9 weeks in, Oklahoma's sitting here at 15th. So Brent Venables has done the most important part that he needed to do was bring the defense into the SEC the proper way. The problem has been the offense, and that's what's on him. And I'm not giving him an excuse. It's on him. Hiring the proper offensive coordinator that can handle all the injuries, make the right adjustments, and make the team more of a viable team. That's what you need. Let's look at run defense. Run defense-wise, Oklahoma is sitting 3rd in Power 4. Now we're up there in pass, which Pick 6 Previews hasn't put up their listing for the pass yet. But that was a fascinating stat for me, is that the run defense is good. The defense overall is good. But of course, the offense is historically bad. And all of you are right as fans, Oklahoma fans, to gripe because, you expect this to have the most high-flying offenses out there. But if we're not seeing that out of a Tennessee with Josh Heupel running his offense, when 2 years ago he had one of the most high-flying offenses in the country, I think they were number 1 2 years ago. Your LSU, who will play at the end of this season, still one of the most high-flying offense. They were number 1 last year. Defense was atrocious. But right now they're riding high because their offense is doing it really good. But when they place a good defense, Texas A&M, they're not hitting their typical 30 points. If the offense can find competency, this team is fine going forward. Now, that's going to hinge 100% on the hire that Brent Venables has. We talked about that. It's going to be all about that. Shout out to Pick 6 Previews. Go check them out on the Bird app. The link for their account is in the description below. Fantastic graphics, fantastic details, because they're pointing out some of the most important components. But just the fact that Oklahoma is rated so high defensively, opponent adjusted, that tells you we're going in the right direction. What we need to do now is honestly grow up on offense. We grow up, we'll be better. If you watched my last video when I talked about Bill Beatonbow and the struggle that I felt like Brent Venables had coming in, which was he should have let people go earlier. He had one less year to prepare for the SEC. It should have been all about, you know what? We're not giving people chances. We're kicking everybody out and we're starting from scratch. He did rip it to the studs, but he should have took the studs down as well. That's where Venables made the mistake. Being too nice. This is a cutthroat business. It's a cutthroat conference. You got to walk in there with a lot of confidence, and you got to cut people out that aren't fitting what you're trying to do. It's unfortunate. That's how things work. But I still trust in him. Rocking the shirt. October's now over. Still rocking the pink, though. I still believe what BV's doing. Because I believe that in time, which I think is next season, with his next hire, they'll be fine as far as the long term goes. Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. But I think long term, offensively, including next season, not having your top 5 wide receivers out, I think this team will be fine. Let me know what you think. Hop in the comments. Let me know your thought. I know a lot of you not going to agree, and that's fine. Y'all know I don't really care if you agree or not. We're not here for me to tell you that you're wrong or anything like that. I just provide the data, provide you the details, to provide you with the context, and you just tell me what you feel about it. Could be me just being blind, right? Could have on my rose gold, my rosy Sooner crimson glasses. But what I see is a team that defense was atrocious before he showed up to one that has seemed to really take leaps and bounds with a lot of veterans and young players in the fold going into next season. I think we're pretty stacked in the right direction. Now, we can rotate there. But offensively, we should have done a lot more cleaning house, especially the offensive line. Should have cleaned house a lot earlier. You made this far, like the content, hit the like button. New to the channel, subscribe. We'd love for y'all to join this family of Sooner fans. We're talking OU football, SEC, and college football in general. Having a blast doing it. We'll talk to you all after the game against Maine. Believe me when I say it's going to be one of those traditional wins. You'll be happy. You'll be satisfied. And then we got to prepare ourselves for the road against Missouri. Stick around. Tell a friend. We'll talk soon.